Welcome to GripeCast with your host, Alex Hernandez. This show is dedicated to consumer technology news and pop culture. GripeCast is owned by Techaeris. Visit Techaeris.com for the latest tech reviews, news, entertainment, and pop culture. Now sit tight, the show's about to begin. All right, I guess we're going to do this thing, guys. Hey, this is Alex, and I am the editor-in-chief and founder, owner of Techaeris. And this is GripeCast, just a podcast that I'm starting because just trying to pivot and trying to do something different. We had a podcast some years ago called Aircast, and we did several episodes of that. But that never panned out very well, so we kind of dropped that and just went about our business with the website. And well, things are changing, and I decided that I wanted to try podcasting again. And I call this one GripeCast because it's kind of a space for me to open up, express myself, and speak out about current situation involving not only our website, but just life in general, culture, technology. Well, just kind of a lifestyle podcast, kind of revolving around me and the site. I talked today. I figured I'd talk a little bit about the history of Techaeris. I started the site in 2013, but I've been doing this since around 2008, 2009. I had a few small blogs that were on WordPress.com, and it was just a hobby back then. And even in 2013, when I started Techaeris, it was just a hobby. Worked for a couple of Android sites. I had a good time doing that. But I decided to do Techaeris, and been blessed enough to where we've gotten to a place where this is the living I make, and this is how I support my family, and this is what we do. So, going on 11 years with Techaeris, and I've been loving it. The first 5 or 6 years, we were, I had worked a full-time job, and I did Techaeris. And that was on the side. But blessed enough, 5 years ago to be able to do this full time now. The intention with the podcast, though, is we're going to release it. And, I'm still working on podcast hosting. So I want to release it as a podcast, but we're also going to put it on Rumble and YouTube and X. So we'll be covering all the bases here. This first episode here is just kind of a way to just talk it out a bit, just to get myself comfortable and you guys comfortable, not only with, you guys with my voice. I'm a behind the scenes guy. I'm not an on camera personality. It's just not me. But everybody has to kind of step out of their comfort zone once in a while, step out of the comfort zone and embrace other things. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do here. So that's why I'm recording this audio, but also recording video so that I can upload it to the appropriate platforms and hopefully reach a larger audience. That's what we're trying to do here, is just reach a larger, broader audience. I've been writing for a long time now, and it's what I do. I think I do a good job at it. I always can do a better job, but for the most part, we are one of the last independent tech websites on the internet that is at this level. So I'm proud of that. I am. I'm very proud of that. So that's a little of the history of Techaeris. I can go into more detail some other time, but I really don't want to make this super long, and I know that I can ramble. So I've told myself I need not to be rambling. So we're going to try to do our best to rein it in when I can. I don't have a co-host here to help me do that, so I gotta kind of police myself. So that's a little of the history. The current situation. I know a lot of our followers on MeWe are kind of tuned in to the situation that we're dealing with right now. The state of search, Google search in particular. As we all know, Google search is the number one search platform on the internet. And for our part, as publishers, we have to do what they say. We have to follow their rules. We have to do, to the letter. You get penalized pretty heavily if you don't follow Google's rules, and their rules are plenty. There's rules I don't even know exist. I haven't had time to go through and read every last thing that they have in there, but I do know that they have frequent algorithm changes that almost always impact us in some way, usually negatively. We see drops in traffic here and there when they have a small algorithm update, and the major algorithm updates, the traffic kind of spikes, goes down, and then eventually it recovers. It takes some time. But this last algorithm update, actually they just had a brand new one here in March, because a lot of sites were complaining about the previous update. A lot of independent sites like Techaeris have been impacted by this update, and numbers have really drastically dropped for organic search. I have to say we dropped 80 to 90% traffic, and that's been really hard, really rough. For just a quick background for those listening and watching, just making content, writing, reviewing, the content creation in general, it takes effort and it takes work. A lot of people may not think that, and that's fine. Think what you want, but the fact is that I work hard, and for many years I've worked 7 days a week, 8 to 10 hours a day. Just recently I decided I'm taking Sundays off because I've missed my family and I have not been able to spend time with them, and so Sundays are my day off now. But it takes a lot of work, and these past 10 years it's taken a lot of money too. I've invested tens of thousands of dollars in Techaeris. I've invested a lot of money, a lot of time, and to see all of that kind of just go up in smoke in the blink of an eye is, eye-opening and a little scary. But I'm not ready to give up. Google's algorithm update really affected us. They did some things that really hurt independent websites. Supposedly they're in the process of fixing those things. I don't know for sure yet because we're still hurting here as far as organic search goes in Google. Bing and DuckDuckGo and a few of the other ones are still okay, but those search engines aren't used nearly as much as Google. So we rely on Google, and of course ad revenue is part of the way we make money here. So when our traffic goes down, our ad revenue goes down. Other ways we make money here is our licensing our content. So there's brands that sometimes want to use our logos or awards or pull quotes from our reviews as their marketing material if we review one of their products. So in that case, we sell a licensing, we take a licensing fee for that. And that's one of the ways that we survive. So that's why I've always been harsh on ad blockers and those type of things. Because when you block ads, I find ads annoying myself. I don't deny that. Ads are a pain in the butt. And if there was a way to not have ads and gain revenue, I would do that. We've tried to pitch the idea to users about a paid tier or, just making it a paid website. But people don't want that either. They want all the content on the internet to be free. But the fact is that somebody has to produce it, somebody has to work to produce it, and that's what I do. I work to produce this content, and I can't do it for free. I have a family to support, and I couldn't do it for free even if I had a full-time job. At the amount of time that I put into this, I wouldn't be able to do if I had a full-time job. So at any rate, Google's algorithm update has really hurt us, along with the deal they made with Reddit, which I have pulled up here on this here screen that if you're watching, you can see it. Google strikes $60 million deal with Reddit, allowing search giant to train AI models on human posts. So what that was about is Google made a deal with Reddit so that they can train Bard AI. But part of that deal gave Reddit preferential treatment in search. So a lot of Reddit threads and posts were starting to show up on Google search on the front page. So that pushes a lot of other websites down out of the algorithm and off the first page, and second page. So a lot of independent sites are being hurt by that deal. So the last update I got was today. Supposedly Google is implementing a new update, and they call it a major update. And the trend right now, what we're seeing with the models, is that Reddit results are starting to get pushed back down, not as authoritative as they were when the deal was struck. So I'm not sure what's shaking out there. All I know is that two of the things that have affected us are the algorithm update initial that they did a few months ago, and then this Reddit deal. So losing traffic has been really rough and hard on us, and we're trying to recover, but it's going to take time. There's also new updates concerning AI content. When ChatGPT first came out, we were sent an email from Google. Publishers were sent an email from Google saying you can't use AI to create content. If you do use AI to create content, you have to note that somewhere on the page. But okay, so if you use AI to create content, your website is at risk of being deranked and removed from Google search, even if you put a disclaimer on that said it was created by AI content, by an AI. Your content was created by AI. So it's not a big deal to us because AI, we don't. I've experimented with it a few times, and there was a couple articles we did that had AI content in it, but it's not something I do. We don't use AI. It's not a thing that we do. Maybe 4 or 5 articles, I think, that we played around with it. But it wouldn't be something I would use on the norm. But what I found interesting is that Google is now paying, and this was not widely reported, but Google is now paying some select websites a 6-figure salary or some for using Bard AI to write their content. And they are not required to disclose they're using Bard AI to write content. So it strikes me as a little hypocritical when Google isn't allowing publishers to use AI tools and will derank them and remove them from Google search, but yet here they are using their own AI tools to help other sites write that content and not disclose it. So, that's it. I mean, what can I say? It's been a rough first quarter of 2024 for us. Our search traffic is down. Our revenue's down. This is probably the roughest patch we've had since I started the site. When we first started, we were, oh man, I was happy to get 10, 15 people to come check the site out, and we've grown. So praise God for that. But right now, it's that growth has like just been pulled right out from underneath us, and so it's taken me a little bit of time to get my bearings after that smack on the head. But we are going to try to reverse course. I can only do so much on my part. We can only continue to produce the content that I know you guys enjoy, and hope that Google doesn't derank us, take us out of search, and in some way hurt us in the process. In the end, we are all pretty much at Google's mercy. There's not much we can do. We are at their mercy, and we just have to play their game. They are the only. Well, they're not the only player, the only show out there. There's other people and other search engines, but they are the biggest. And if you're not in Google, if you're not in Google search and you're not found there, it's very difficult. So, that's the history and the current situation here at Techaeris. I'm already like 15 minutes in here, and I feel like I've been rambling. You're going to have to bear with me as I figure this out. Podcasting and video stuff is just, I enjoy it. I enjoy editing. I enjoy doing those things. But on camera on camera and on mic are kind of something that I've never really got comfortable with. So I'm hoping that we can get comfortable with that now and try to take this up to a different level. Hopefully, production-wise, we'll get better. I worked really hard this week to try to get some things set up properly here, and hopefully at least start off on a good foot. The future, we'll talk about the future. I'm not giving up on Techaeris. I'm not giving up on what I do. This is my job. I enjoy doing this job I've done for a long time now. 10 and a half, 11 years with Techaeris, and many years before that with other websites and a couple of failed blogs that I did in the 2007, 2008 range. So we're going to continue writing. We're going to continue doing reviews. We're going to continue doing the best we can to bring the content. I'm going to do the best I can to bring the content that I can to you guys. One of the things that my initial vision for Techaeris was to start a media company. I wanted to get several sites under the belt. I wanted to do a tech site and an entertainment site and a news site and kind of build out from there. But that's not panned out for me. And one of the things that I've been told is that that Alex, that I am the brand, I am Techaeris, and I've never really embraced that because I still have that vision. I have that vision of wanting to have a media company, and I didn't want it to be about me. But maybe this is the pivot I have to do. Maybe this is what I need to do. Sorry about that. I got distracted. Safari's this web page was reloaded because it was using significant memory. Safari is that browser. I got Safari up right now, but it tends to do this. It reloads web pages because it says it's using too much memory. That's why I don't use it very often. But anyway, Techaeris has been something that I've wanted to build as a brand. And, I've been told, well, Techaeris and Alex are the brand. They are one person. So I don't know. Maybe that is the direction I need to go. Maybe that is where I need to be. Maybe I need to start embracing the fact that I've built Techaeris. It's kind of like my baby. So I've had a lot of help down the road from several people. Jason Bomeister is one of them. He's a friend of mine. He still writes for us. He still writes with me, and I appreciate his help over the years. It's been 9 years since he's been with me or something like that, and he's been a great help, and he's my friend, and but it's always the face of it has always been me, and maybe it's time to embrace that. It's kind of hard because I'm not a personality, guys. I'm not Mr. Who's the Boss, and I'm not Marquez Brownlee. I'm not the unbox guy, and a lot of these people I've seen and met at CES, and that's just not the crowd I run with. That's just not who I am. But hopefully, maybe, I start this, maybe something will come of this that other people might like, and there might be other creators out there that might find some sort of inspiration in this. So that's what the future is right now. Is that I'm gonna continue on, and we're gonna try to make different content. We're gonna try to pivot. We're gonna try to use what we have and enhance it and make it better. And as always, I appreciate you guys, especially for all the help that you give me, for all the for visiting the site, for sharing with your friends, for turning your ad blocker off, or whitelisting the site. All these things are helpful. So I really appreciate that 100%. I posted a request on MeWe earlier today asking about what you guys wanted me to talk about. I kind of figured I'd be rambling on here on this first podcast about the site and what I'm doing. And because I'm not a script guy. I can't write scripts. Maybe I need to work on that, and maybe I can develop that. But right now, this first episode is non-scripted. It's from the hip. But Luke, one of our followers on MeWe, just he posted asked me to talk about the highs and lows of product review. I can expand on that. Expand on that at maybe on another podcast some other time. But real quick, I'll talk about it for a minute. Product reviews are fun. I mean, who doesn't want to get new stuff and test it out and do your thing with it, It's been 11 years. Well, more than that, because I did some product reviews for other sites too. Let's see some of the highs. Well, the highs are obviously being able to test new gear out, new smartphones, new TVs, new laptops, you name it, smartwatches, and being able to get those items ahead of time. It's been fun getting certain things on embargo. Where the release date's a week out, and you actually have the device in your hand and you're playing with it. It's fun. That's a good time. There's times most of the stuff that we get, laptops and monitors and TVs and smartphones, they all go back. They have to, the manufacturer wants the stuff back, so we don't keep that stuff that goes back. But there are other small things that we get to keep. There's headphones and small speakers, microphones like this mic right here that I'm talking in is the Tempest 512, and this was a review unit, and I got to keep it, so it's been nice. I'm actually gonna get to utilize it for once. I tested it. It's a great mic. I love the way it sounds. Hopefully the sound coming through is just as good on your end. So those two things are a high point on product review. There's a lot of low points. There's frequent requests for reviews from brands, and I'm not gonna name brands. I'm not gonna name names, but there are brands that have reached out to us. Hey, would you review this? And I'm like, sure, yeah, we'll take a look. And okay, well, there's some strings attached to the review. We want to read the copy before you publish, or we want to. You have to give us a good review. We want a positive review. So that's it's not as frequent as before, but I've had those requests, and those are the ones I absolutely will not work with. I'm saying no, we don't give copy out beforehand, and we don't do positive reviews just because you ask us. It's an honest review. You send it to us, we'll review it. But my measure for reviews has always been when I reach out to brands and companies for review units. I only reach out to those brands and those specific. It's a very specific, narrow window of brands that I reach out to, and it's only if something catches my eye, and only if the brand is a respectable brand. There've been a few times that we've gotten a couple of non-name brand brands, but for the most part, I try to work with brands that are well respected already, and take a look at their products. It's very rare that I reach out or accept any kind of reviews from off-brand stuff or things that just look like crap. I mean, I don't like to give negative reviews, so I try not to find junk. I try to review stuff that I know that it at least is good, and that's not just. Although, now that I think about it, it might be a good idea to actually take some of those reviews and do negative reviews. But man, that's hard. I try to find the good in everything. And so anyway, that's the gist of it. High points are, you get to play with tech, and you get to sometimes keep a couple things here and there. You get to play with tech that's not out on the market yet. That's always great. And low points are when brands ask for positive reviews or they want to see copy ahead of time. And that's all I can think of offhand for that question. But I might expand on that a little bit later at some other point on another podcast. But I've been rambling now for like 27 minutes, and this first episode, I don't even know if I'm going to have this. I may eventually upload it to the podcast hosting site, but right now we're going to post it up on Rumble, post it up on X and YouTube. I posted on MeWe, but MeWe they have a low tolerance for storage. You got to buy storage there. So we'll put the links out on social media, and we're, like I said, this is our inaugural kind of, I'll call this episode 000, episode 0. So we're going to call this episode 0, and we're going to work on topics to talk about. And I'll be posting up on social media, asking you guys for ideas, what you want to hear from me, what you want me to gripe about, what you want me to talk about. If you want me to talk about, we can even do live reviews. Just got the Samsung S24 Ultra in finally. T-Mobile actually sent this over. Samsung works with me with televisions, but they're not very generous with their mobile devices, with me anyway. They tend to want to work with YouTubers more than written review type websites, which is fine. I actually enjoy their televisions more than I do their smartphones. So at any rate, I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. I just want to say thank you. I thank everybody that's followed us since Google+. I hang out on MeWe. We do a lot on MeWe because a lot of the crowd that was in Google+ is on MeWe, and they've followed me since the beginning. So that's kind of like our home base in social media is MeWe. Hopefully those guys don't go anywhere. I don't know the way the state of social media is right now. I don't know. But, there's my ats up there on the screen. You can follow us on X at GripeCast. You can follow Techaeris on X at Techaeris. You can follow us on MeWe at Techaeris, and you can follow me on X at Alex Hernandez. That's Alex Hernandez. So until next episode, guys, you guys have a great weekend, a great week ahead, and we'll talk to you on the other side.